I somehow managed to accidentally hijack a real World War II army jeep on my very first trip to England. As a 5-year-old child. Hi there, the name's James, and welcome to the first story of the channel. This is my first time ever creating content. I don't know exactly what I'm doing, but I have a decent idea and plenty of funny stories, so no more beating around the bush. Let's get into it. Me and my mama were on a one-day trip to Birmingham on important business, but we had a good bit of time to kill before our doing, so we decided to explore the city. And it was there in the streets that mama spotted an old-looking army jeep, parked in the square with a pair of important-looking army dudes standing next to it. It just so happened that some kind of war history exhibition was going on in town, and this old jeep had been parked outside to drum up some attention. We walked up and said hi to the guys, and asked them about the jeep. They said it was one of the rare few that survived the infamous D-Day landings in France at the turning point of World War II. Now, Mama actually had a close relative who fought in the very same landings, which the officer was eager to hear about. While they were talking and exchanging condolences and discussing the importance of teaching history, little me was all over this jeep. I'd never seen anything like it up close before. The officer saw me taking such a shine to it and said, "Do you want to sit in the jeep?" Driving in my car. Mama helped me up, and I plunked my bum in the driver's seat of the vintage war machine. Now, keep in mind, when you're a little kid, jeeps and trucks and stuff are just about the coolest thing in the world, right after dinosaurs. So this was a legendary experience for 5-year-old me. Mama asked about the photos on the sign in front of the jeep, and the guy explained that this jeep had been carefully preserved, only brought out for special occasions, usually the huge anniversary parades in France. These were massive celebrations commemorating the liberation of France from the Nazis. The French president, and sometimes even the US president and the Queen, would come to celebrate with the French people and watch the jeeps go by. And this jeep was one of them. But then, as they were talking, Mama felt something. Her mother senses were tingling. Out of the corner of her eye, she saw the jeep rolling away with me in the driver's seat. Apparently, I was so locked in, imagining myself as this jeep driver, I accidentally disabled the handbrake and sent the whole thing rolling. One of the guys made a frantic dash after me, jumped onto the side of the jeep, and yanked on the brake. Down the hill from where he stopped the jeep, a whole group of parents had gathered around, waiting for their turn for their kids to sit in the jeep, and I nearly ran them all over. I could have committed vehicular manslaughter in a foreign country before the age of 6. Just imagine those headlines. Crikey. A senior-looking officer stormed out to see what the commotion was about, and he was not impressed. My poor, red-faced mama scooped me out of the jeep, and the guy started shouting at his subordinate like, "I ordered these gears to be disabled! Why weren't they disabled? What do you think you're doing?" And we just quietly stepped away. They put a big rope over the jeep's door and made it perfectly clear that it was not to be sat in, much to the disappointment of my would-be victims. So yeah, I was the last person to drive that jeep. Am I proud of it? No. Well, maybe a little. But that wasn't the only incident I managed to worm myself into. Oh no, we came home packing one more mishap. Well, 2 more if you count the food poisoning and awful diarrhea we got from our lunch while we were there, but I don't really feel like animating that, so we're just gonna skip to the last story. The sun was setting on our exciting trip, and we were getting ready to head for home. Since I'd been such a well-behaved lad and kept my criminal record so low while we were abroad, Mama wanted to buy a nice present for a good little law-abiding boy. A gun. A lot of this trip is kinda hazy in my memory, to be honest, but I couldn't forget that gun if I tried. The very first blaster I ever owned. It was a Nerf N-Strike Elite Fire Strike. 2-dart cartridge, unique orange coloration, and epic laser targeting system. By which, I mean a little red LED dot that only worked for like 20-foot distances in the dark, but close enough. I was over the moon with my flashy new firearm, happy as a heavily armed clam, bouncing with ideas for people to bop with my brand new blaster. That is until airport security. Now, as you probably know, airports seem to take a very dim view of guns and bombs and other mayhem-oriented devices, and Mama, with her incredible powers of foresight, suddenly realized that might be a problem. And I can hear you scoffing, they wouldn't take a harmless plastic toy that fires featherweight foam darts at a few feet per second. I mean, come on! They might as well shoot water. Well, You know what they think of water?
Anything to declare? Food, perishables?
Oh no, just this bottle of water.
He's got a bow. He's gonna try and make a bomb. What? No. How would you even do that?
Get on the ground, you bomb-wielding maniac!
Thinking fast, Mama spotted a cute little Christmas tree. It was December, a stroke of luck. "Ooh, James," she pointed, trying to distract me while the security guy quietly confiscated my gun. "Look at the lovely tree, isn't it gorgeous?" And it worked. For about 5 seconds. But before he'd even finished scanning all our stuff, I noticed something missing. "Where's my Nerf gun?" "I'm sorry, my child." What? Mama explained that airports have a very strict no guns of any type, shape, or form policy, and that we'd have to leave my brand new present behind. And I started crying. I was crushed. A whole lifetime of weaponized joy stolen away in an instant by the thralls of authority. And that's when it happened. Don't tell me you're taking the child's toy. I'm not joking. The guy behind us turns around to the rest of the security queue and says, "Would you look at this? They're taking the toy gun off the poor child and making him cry." And to the shock of my poor mama, who had more than filled her quota of motherly embarrassment for that day, everyone else in the queue joined in. The shame
Now
of
that's
it.
just plain mean.
Honestly. One lady came up to the front, picked up the Nerf gun, and said, "Look it's a harmless piece of plastic." Now, before this little airport uprising could snowball any further, a guy came up to Mama and said, "Listen, I know the guy who runs the newsstand there, and every day there's a £10 note in one of the papers. In fact, hey, Wally." "Yeah?" "Security's after taking the poor kid's Nerf gun. Do you know where the £10 note is so we can buy him a new one when he gets home?" "Ah, sure, that's terrible. You just hold on there." He flicks through the stack of papers, and in a few seconds he finds the note, gives it to the guy, and the guy gives it to Mama. There. Buy him a new gun when you get home. While writing this script, Mama told me she was gonna just buy another Nerf gun when we got home anyway, tenor or no tenor. But when the whole airport rallies round in support of a cute little kid to help justice prevail in the face of adversity, it'd be churlish to say no. She gratefully accepted the note and reassured her little chaos bringer that he'd get his gun back. And I did. I still have it. This one's blue, but apart from that, the very same. I still find it kinda odd that they felt the need to confiscate what was obviously a toy gun. Maybe word got around that I'd already hijacked one vehicle that day and might be on the prowl for bigger things to take over. I guess I'd err on the side of caution if I were them. So there you have it. We made it home safe and sound and never set foot in Birmingham again. So concludes what is hopefully my first video of many to come. I don't know if this YouTube thing is gonna go anywhere, but even if it doesn't, it feels right to put something out there, knowing I gave it my all. If even one person gets a giggle out of this, I'll be happy. So thanks for stopping by, thanks for your time, and I hope to see you in the next one. Take care, James out.
Driving in my car right after a tea, I stole a Jeep from the British Army. Vintage too, it's from World War II. I'd run if I were you.